Hi, I'm Jake. I make RPG supplements and videos about Pathfinder 2, or PF2. I love PF2, and this game is so expansive you can make almost anything you can think of. And there's design space available for a lot of things. One of them that I've wanted to see for quite a while. By the way, I'm happy they're coming out with a Sanguimancer. That's something else I've wanted to see for a while. Is a mad scientist! And we have a mad scientist now. Yes, the inventor is basically a mad scientist. But this is like a Frankenstein mad scientist. The Lepidstadt surgeon from Rival Academies. So if you want to skip the lore, go to this time. There won't be much lore, so it doesn't really matter. But whatever. Lepidstadt surgeon. To be a surgeon is to be akin to a god. In your hands is the power of life and death. With a flick of a knife, you can excise a tumor. With another, you can sever an artery. Everything comes down to your skill, to the steadiness of your hand, the keenness of your eye, and the knowledge of your mind. Little wonder, then, that in Lepidstadt, surrounded by powers and temptations, surgeons sometimes go a few steps further, like creating life. It didn't say that. With the right reagents, with the proper equipment, even death is only a temporary inconvenience, a shadow to be chased from the door with kicks and shouts. Just imagine the possibilities. Yeah, it's Frankenstein. Sorry, Frankenstein. Additional feats. 6th. No, I created you. If your construct companion is controlled, you can try to gain control back. So, I gotta say, the image for this archetype is really cool. Just walking down the street, big ol' smile on your face, you just accomplished a great task or made a huge discovery, and you have a saw that's just dripping with blood. Lepidstadt Surgeon Dedication, level 2 feat. It's uncommon, which means that probably means that you'll need to attend the University of Lepidstadt. You'll want to look at Rival Academies for that, or you need to get your GM to just go, okay. Prerequisites. Trained in medicine, attend to the University of Lepidstadt. Before everything else, before the blood and the monsters and the Stasian technology and the horror, you are a doctor. You are, in fact, an exceptionally good doctor. You become an expert in medicine, which is awesome. 2nd level, you can be an expert in medicine. When you successfully administer first aid to stabilize a dying creature that doesn't yet have the wounded condition, that's important, it regains 2d8 hit points. This healing increases by 10 when you are a Master of Medicine and by another 10 when you are Legendary in Medicine. When you successfully administer first aid to stop bleeding, the target rolls the flat check with lowered DC for an assisted recovery twice and takes the better result. This is a fortune effect. So you get 2 useful benefits for anyone interested in having the medicine skill right when you take the dedication. You are expert in medicine, and when you administer first aid to stabilize someone, not just stabilize them in general, like not the stabilize spell, but you use the skill action for medicine, administer first aid, and they don't have the wounded condition, you just heal them more. So already this kind of just feels like a medic. At 2nd level, it's medic, basically. Dedication. Yeah, I know it's not exactly the same number-wise, but it feels really similar. It feels pretty damn similar, in fact. So, next feat is level 4, Enlightening Life. 1 action as the trades Concentrate, Electricity, Healing, and Manipulate. Prerequisites is this dedication. Frequency once per 10 minutes. I love that kind of frequency that you can do throughout the day. You don't have to do any weird shenanigans to be able to get along with the ability during your adventure. It's basically just once a fight. Requirements. You're wearing or holding a healer's toolkit. Enlightening there is life. This lesson is whispered throughout Lepidstadt, and you can put it to practical use. You have integrated a miniature Stasian coil into your healer's toolkit, and if anybody's wondering, Stasian coils are basically, well, I guess they're sort of like Iron Man's little reactor he has in his chest. They're just little electrical coils using our world's technology. They're from Irisen. The Iriseni witches are the ones most likely to have them. There's a portal in Irisen that leads to Earth, Russia specifically. So technology comes from there sometimes. And this is one of the things that it is. Yeah, and not everybody likes that. I think it's funny. So, like, why not? You have integrated a miniature Stasian coil into your healer's toolkit. You'll use the coil to gently shock a willing or unconscious ally within your reach who gains 2d4 temporary hit points from the jolt. These temporary hit points last for 1 minute. These temporary hit points increase by 1d4 at 8th level and every 4 levels thereafter. A creature that has resistance or immunity to electricity is immune to this ability, and a creature that received temporary hit points from enlightening life is temporarily immune to it for 24 hours. I like that the ally doesn't have to be wounded. Just, like, you sort of, like, pat them on the back with a joy buzzer, and they go, ah! Ah! And they have extra health. It's a little bit of a silly interpretation, but it's funny. I like the ability, obviously. It's useful because temporary hit points are useful. This is not anything having to do with having a pet. However, we're almost there. Enlightening life is useful, obviously, but you can get temporary hit points a variety of ways. You can be a primal or divine caster and use Rousing Splash and give someone temporary hit points. I guess I just wish it did something in addition to getting temporary hit points, because it's just not a big deal. Next feat is Rise My Creature. Level 4, you have created life. You have usurped the power of the gods themselves. You gain a prototype construct companion pieced together from corpses and animated by chemicals or Stasian technology. You use medicine in place of crafting to repair your construct or rebuild it if it's been destroyed. Your creation has an affinity for the lightning that brought it to life. When your construct companion takes electricity damage, it gains a +1 circumstance bonus to its athletics skill checks until the end of its next turn. That's cool. Although the coils or alchemical residue make it obvious to you and those with similar training that your creation is not undead, others must generally succeed at a DC 15 crafting, medicine, or religion check to verify those claims with recall knowledge. So now we're getting into the territory of the Clockwork Reanimator archetype. You get the pet later, but a lot of the feats from the Lepidstadt Surgeon are pulled directly from Clockwork Reanimator. So you're just going to see a lot of similarity. So obviously having a pet's nice. And it's only level 4, that's good. It's still low level. Next feat is level 6, Artery Map. While you've learned all the places a scalpel can cause extensive bleeding to avoid disasters in surgery, such knowledge can serve other purposes. When you strike an off-guard creature with a weapon from the knife group, you deal 1d6 persistent bleed damage. That's not a critical hit. It's just when you hit them. That's cool. The damage increases to 1d10 when you are legendary in medicine. I think it would have been nice if it was 1d6 persistent bleed damage per +1 of the weapon. So it would go up eventually. In fact, I'd probably rule it that way, because it should be comparable to when you get it, because you're still slicing open an artery. Anyway, it's a little bit like a rogue, so that's fun, because you're a surgeon, you can use surgical precision. Next feat, level 6, Let My Creature Live! Prerequisites, Rise My Creature, because you can't ask you can't ask your creature to live if you don't have a creature. You continue to tinker with your creation's muscles and rudimentary mind, granting it a limited form of autonomy. Your construct companion becomes an advanced construct companion. During an encounter, even if you don't use the command a minion action, your construct companion can still use one action on your turn that round to stride or strike, which is the same feat as the Advanced Reanimated Companion level 4 feat of Clockwork Reanimator. So it's just a little bit later, like when you got the pet. Next feat is a skill feat, level 7, Beautiful Knifework. It has the traits, Exploration, Manipulate, and Skill. Prerequisite, Master in Medicine. You perform surgical adjustments to disguise a willing ally or your construct companion. This counts as preparing a disguise to impersonate, taking 10 minutes and requiring a healer's toolkit instead of a disguise kit, because you're cutting them. The DC to see through the deception with Seek is your medicine DC, unless the disguised character's deception DC is higher. If the target directly interacts with someone while disguised, they gain a +2 circumstance bonus. Wow. If the target directly interacts with someone while disguised, they gain a +2 circumstance bonus to their deception check. You can reverse this effect with another 10-minute surgery. The disguised character can also end it as a free action when they receive any healing effect. You can impersonate someone with this. That's cool. I actually created a magical item that does this. It just seems like flesh warping technology. So this is kind of the feel that I've wanted to see from a mad scientist, so I'm glad it exists. I guess I would prefer that it is a little bit more useful, because you're basically just letting somebody disguise using a healer's toolkit instead of a disguise kit. Yeah, they get +2. Yeah, that does matter. It's a skill feat, I guess. I guess it's about comparable to most other skill feats, so okay. Sure, it's worth taking. Not everybody's going to, but I guess that's why there are options. Next feat is level 8, Behold My Creation. Prerequisite, let my creature live. You have rebuilt your creation once more. It is greater now, more than it once was. Soon it shall be greater still. Your construct companion becomes an incredible construct companion. It's also from Clockwork Reanimator. The incredible reanimated companion for Clockwork Reanimator is level 8. And Behold My Creation is also level 8. So now it has caught up in terms of strength of your companion with the Clockwork Reanimator. Next feat, level 8, Stasian Charge. Prerequisites, Enlightening Life. Charging a living body with electricity may seem like a bad idea, you think? But you know better! When a creature... This is such a mad scientist. When a creature gains temporary hit points from your Enlightening Life, they gain the Quickened condition until the end of their next turn. They can use the extra action only for Stride and Strike actions. That's totally useful. Is it worth a feat? I don't think so. Because, A, it does require another feat. Fine. You probably already took that feat because it's really early in this archetype, and that's sort of the feel of this archetype. But it only makes them quickened if you use that ability on them until the end of their next turn, and they only get Stride to Strike. How useful is quickened? I had this conversation with Swing Ripper, and for casters it doesn't seem all that useful unless you have to position. But if you don't, it doesn't do anything. And it's not always useful for marshals because they're not going to take a 4th attack. So it's useful for like the first round of combat, which I guess this is perfect for, because people don't have to be wounded first before you just electrocute them, giving them temporary hit points in a quickened action. Okay, so it is useful for the beginning fight, the beginning round in combat. I'll give it that. And that is something that's quite handy. I don't know, it's just not worth a feat to me. There are better feats. Next feat, level 12, so we're skipping 10. Stand back, I'm a doctor. 2 actions. Prerequisite, Master in Medicine. Requirements, you are holding healer's tools, or you are wearing them and have a hand free. A creature with the dying condition is in your reach. You have mastered techniques to aid those at the brink of death, even if they use dangerous Stasian technology. Attempt a medicine check on the dying creature as you deliver it a powerful shock. The DC is usually a standard difficulty DC of a level equal to the target. On a success, the creature's dying condition is reduced by 1 or 2 on a critical success. Okay. If this reduces the value of the dying condition to 0, the creature regains 2d8 plus 10 hit points. Nice. Its wounded condition doesn't increase, and it can stand as a free action. This is great. Especially since you probably took this archetype to get a pet, you also get great healing out of it. Nice. Each creature, okay, not great healing at level 12, but it's still healing. Its wounded condition doesn't increase and it can stand as a free action. Each creature except you, adjacent to the target, takes 8d6 electricity damage. Basic reflex save against your class DC or spell DC. Instead of attempting the save, a creature can step as a free action, and if they end this movement not adjacent to the target, they take no damage. That part's disappointing, because it's not like you yell, "Clear!" first. If you want to hurt them, you're just like, "Hey guys, can you hold on to my shoulders while I revive my buddy?" Yeah, I like this a lot. Alright, last feat. Level 14, a miracle of science! I love that there's so many exclamation points in this archetype. It just fits the inventor feel. Prerequisite, behold my creation. Once you dreamed of creating life, now you know that merely creating life lacks ambition. No, you have taken life and improved upon it. Your construct companion becomes a paragon construct companion. And when do you get that from Clockwork Reanimator? Also level 14 for Clockwork Reanimator. So this is basically, if you wanted Clockwork Reanimator and instead of messing with undead, like controlling them, or raise dead, or having your pet kind of explode, and you wanted more healing, you would go this route. It really feels like a variation on that archetype. Like, it does have its own feel, partly because of the way it's written. It injects flavor and theme, which I commend. And I'm not complaining that this exists. I like that it's here. I like the options. I would probably take it myself. But they could have done a lot more with this. A lot more. Like, just the ability to rearrange someone's face, or the ability to get extra bleed damage, those both really could have been expanded upon. You could have wounded somebody so much that it works like a curse, like it's persistent. They have to have a special level of medicine to recover from it, so you could like disfigure people or have them permanently look like someone else. That'd be a fun setup for a plot as well. And the Artery Map doing persistent bleed damage, like I said, I think you should scale better, but you could have also done different things with the ability to understand biology better. Like, you could paralyze people, or you could just paralyze certain limbs, or give them hindrances, conditions. There's just more things that could have been packed in here. Like, I see me taking this as a rogue just for the ability to do extra damage when I hit people, and maybe taking a couple of other things from it that aren't the pet. I don't really think that's the point of the archetype. Anyway, I do like the feel. I'm glad it exists. I'm going to expand on it myself. Because there's room. Thank you for stopping by. More Rival Academies coming. I really like this book. It's just, well, okay, I love archetypes, and more archetypes are more better. I think I like Ancestries more so, because they're so strongly flavored. I think that Paizo does really well on their Ancestries, and they always have a fun injection into the game. If you are a patron, thank you for being here and for helping out the channel all the time. And if you want to have a chance of winning stuff like this, cool sparkly dice, you would need to be a patron. Go to the link below in the description. You can go to Patreon and pledge $5 or more per month, and you get entered into a drawing to win something like this. The highest levels also get dice and can get something made by me if you like. If you want to see the rest of the Rival Academies, the link will be here. And I'll see you there. Thank you for being here.